welcome to our transfer show. We're going to discuss some things. So who wants to go first? We'll go the 5 questions, and then we'll just go one at a time, just around the sort of virtual room, and then we'll discuss a little bit each one, and then at the end, when we finish that, we'll talk. We can talk about anything else that anyone wants to talk about. Yeah. So, first question: dream transfer. One player you would love to see at Liverpool next season. It could be any player. Realistic, not realistic, whatever. Who wants to go first? No one?
Yeah, we got to get on. We can't have a couple of minutes.
I'll go first. Son is the player I would love to see at Liverpool next season, and just the reason that I just think he's. I know we've had the conversations about Kane and Son and who scores more goals and blah blah, and I agree with all the comments that were said before about Kane and how he'd be an upgrade on Firmino and that kind of stuff. But I just think Son is the perfect Liverpool player, not playing at Liverpool right now. He just fits everything. The dynamism. He plays with a smile on his face. He looks like a good guy, so I just think he would be perfect for our squad, our team, and the way we play. That's my one.
Well, I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go the other way. We had this conversation the other day. You know what? If you could really choose one, tried and tested, I would actually go for Kane. I've kind of jumped ship on the Son, Jason. I mean, you can get millions of you can get millions of Kane's Sons, I think. We've got Salah, who's similar. We've got Mane, who's similar, and all sorts. But Kane's going to get you 25 goals a season. And he will make a fantastic difference to that side. I just think that is what we're lacking, really. A player that's going to. I mean, Firmino, I love him to bits, but he doesn't get you enough goals, in my opinion. And if you've got that out-and-out striker that links it a little bit, drops in a bit deeper. We're talking about dream signings. I mean, I think that's that player. I mean, we've got one of the best centre-backs in the world, and we've just signed another beast. I've seen some of his videos. That bloke's massive, but we need someone else up front to score goals, because this year Mane's dried up. Salah kind of held his own, as his form has done for the last couple of years. But Firmino's numbers are low, and we need someone to get big numbers, more numbers. So for me, if you could, and if that'll be the one for me. I think it will make tremendous amount of difference.
I'll go next. Yeah, I'll go next. So I'd go of the players that we know are up for transfer. Then obviously we've had the conversation about Kane, so I totally agree with everything that Yaz has said about Kane. You know my views on that one. But if it was any player in the world and we could take him, then I would take Mbappe, and that is for age, for ability, for what he could bring to the side, for dynamism. I just think that you're just not going to get. I don't think there's a player in world football that does his role as well as he does. Obviously, you've got young lads like Haaland coming through, but I think someone like Mbappe, and the only other English player I would go for in the Premier League that's tried and tested that I would go for if I had a choice and it wasn't Harry Kane, would probably be someone like a Grealish. That would probably be my other one.
Yeah, I like Grealish a lot. He's a great player. I mean, I watched him play for England the other day. I mean, he's a very direct player. He's like a modern-day Gazza, I think. He's got a little bit of everything about him. He's so tough to tackle. Yeah. He runs well with the ball. He's very direct. I like Grealish a lot as well.
Yeah.
Also, what a surprise. Yaz and Kush agree. Ooh.
But what I would say is I wouldn't, even if I had, I mean, obviously these are all hypothetical. This is not necessarily realistic. But any of those players that are coming in, whether it be Mbappe or whether it be Kane, I wouldn't jettison Firmino because the geezer's just a legend, and I think he just does a lot more than what. And we all know that because we're Liverpool fans. But if you're not a Liverpool fan, you don't really appreciate what he does outside of the goals, and he does plenty. So I wouldn't jettison him.
All right, Jaden, you want to go next? Dream signing. Your one player, like if we could play Football Manager this season and pick a player to just bring into our team, who would it be?
Yeah, that's an easy one for me, Mbappe. Kylian. I mean, he's on course to be the best player in the world, in my opinion. I think if he keeps going, he can. I mean, Messi, Ronaldo, they're freaks. But Mbappe at this age, the numbers that he's getting, with the stuff that he could win, I think he is in for a shout to be up there as one of the best players that we've ever seen touch the ball.
Jason, you should be asking why Jaden and I are agreeing on something. Yes.
Well, that's because you're the professors. That's why you agree. Obviously, that we know that. No. Look, I like Mbappe. He was one I was thinking of as a dream signing, but I'm looking at Mbappe, and there's one thing that worries me about him, and that's attitude. And if he thinks he's too big for the club,
honestly, some of the stuff that's written about him, that he is I mean, if you see him training, I've seen him training videos. I've seen him on the pitch. He's hungry. He's hungry.
Where's Mbappe played?
Honestly,
it
doesn't even matter.
Play anywhere.
It doesn't even matter.
No, I've asked the question: where has he played?
As in, where has he played, or where is he going to play?
What teams has he played for?
Monaco, and
PSG. PSG, yeah.
Right. To me, I'm a little bit wary of players with names because they're branded. Blah. The French league's not the best league in the world. Let's not do that.
Yes. Edison Cavani played for PSG.
Edison Cavani's played everywhere.
Yeah,
okay.
But he was scoring loads of goals.
PSG have had the ability not to win the league in their own country this season. It's pathetic. The money they spend. No,
mate. Mbappe was Mbappe player of the World Cup, or was he one of the players of the World Cup?
Yeah.
So when you're playing in the French national team with the kind of players that he's playing with, and you're entitled to, and you can't
have it both ways. You can't turn around and say
you can't
turn around and say, oh, he plays for PSG, he's got those. Then he's playing the World Cup, so he's playing with better players.
No, I'm not having that. I think for the money you would have to pay to sign him, and the money you would have to pay him in wages and salary.
That's not the question. That's not the
question.
The question is dream signing.
Paid that though.
The question is dream signing.
I'm talking about now. He's just a name, mate. It's just stardust. I don't believe that guy.
I think it's not fair.
Right. Let's keep on track now. Keep on track.
Keep on track.
Let me finish anyway. What I was saying.
We are keeping on track. We're talking about Mbappe, and I just don't think that. He's done nothing yet at PSG. He's a name. If he goes in about 4 years' time to maybe Real Madrid or Barcelona, and Jaden spoke about Ronaldo and Messi that have been at the top of the game for the last 15 years. This bloke's just turned up overnight.
I think it's unfair. He's got a brand.
It is.
I
feel like it's unfair.
Yeah,
like
the brand name is there because he is so good. I mean, he was 18. Doing stupid things at Monaco, got moved to PSG, and even though PSG are prime bottlers, that's in their DNA. It's not his fault. He's scored goals at when they need him, he stepped up. He scored goals in all the Champions League games. He scored goals on the international stage. He's taken big defenders for jokes. Like he's untouchable on the pitch when he's playing.
He didn't play against City, by the way.
Not for me. All I'm saying is not for me.
To be honest,
I think if he leaves PSG and goes to a big club, there's going to be a squiggle next to his name.
I think he's winning everything. I think he's winning everything. I think when he gets his move to a club, he's either. I mean, you see all the talk of him of linking to us. It's obviously. I mean, one can dream, but if he goes Real Madrid,
how many goals, Jaden? How many goals has he scored? How many international? Do you know roughly how many international goals he scored?
I don't know.
It's going to be a fair few. What I'm trying to say, Yaz, is if you compare him, you're, and I agree with you on Harry Kane, but Harry Kane, you're going to say tried and tested because he scored, goals in the Premier League and he scored international goals. I'll bet you, Mbappe's goal ratio is up there with Kane.
He scored 17 goals for the international team in 43 matches.
So his ratio's not bad and that's international level, mate.
And he's a boy. He's a boy. Like he's actually a boy. Like he's got so much learning and so much improvement ahead of him that it's actually scary. If he does improve, it's scary because he is probably one of the best strikers in the world at the moment. I think obviously Harry Kane and Lewandowski probably take that mantle, but he's probably top 5, top 3, and he's 20, 21, 22 years old.
Yeah.
It's just scary. It's scary how good he is. And I think anywhere he goes, if he goes Real Madrid, they're winning stuff. You know what I mean? If he comes to us, I mean, we win stuff. We're winning stuff anyway right now. But if he comes to us, I mean, he can play left back for all I care. Like, I don't care where he plays, but he is like, you snatch those kind of opportunities because, like I said, yeah, I think honestly, he's
Jaden, you won't get a game at left back. Robertson's undroppable, mate.
No, but you know what I mean. Isn't it? He's just he has to like sign him at any cost, I think, and play him because he is just general. He's generational. He's a definition of a generational talent, I think, honestly.
Okay. What are you thinking, Karim?
Come on, Karim.
Well, you know what? Everyone's obviously like the Mbappe's, Haalands, and would be like a good signing, but. Who I would like to see in a Liverpool shirt would be De Bruyne, but the reason why he was as a kid he was a Liverpool fan, okay, and it would be good to see a kid that has actually supported the club play for the club. For me, he's a proven a Premiership player. He gets into the Premier League first 11 every year, and the balls he can cross in, man. No other player can do that.
Trent does it
great player.
Yeah, it's a good shout. I mean,
very good shout.
Yeah,
this dream signing though, if anyone.
Yeah,
it's my dream signing. Yeah, De Bruyne this time. I won't go for the obviouses.
Pete,
Zacharakis. Are we speaking realistic or just
dream? Anyone?
You think about
if you could
pick, bed and you're having the dream.
Pick one player.
Kenny Dalglish.
Yeah, we're not playing. What's that game where you can get the legends into the modern day football team? FIFA. No, we're not playing FIFA. No, come on. A current player.
No, if we could sign anyone, I think it would be Mbappe, but I don't think it's realistic.
Okay. Yeah, but this is dream. I
can't see our own splash in the cash.
This is our chance to dream, though. This is the point of it. Is just to. Who would you like to see play for Liverpool next season? That was the thing.
Yeah, I'd love to see Mbappe there. I think he's great, but it's whether or not I can't see our boys splashing the cash there.
Yeah, it's an unrealistic. Look, when I said it before, I said Mbappe. I think Kush said, what did he say? What are you guys smoking down there?
Do you know what? His contract's up soon.
Oh, that was Son, wasn't it?
You were talking about Son versus.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I get.
Yeah, his contract's up in the summer. So, honestly, like if we're gargantuan, we're a massive club, and we're winning stuff right now. I honestly, the finances thing is a bit different, but we have a shout as much as any other club in the world to be in the chance to get him.
Yeah, it's a rumor. It's been linked for a while.
Yeah.
And
he's refusing. He's refusing to sign a new contract. So
he hasn't come out and said anything to the contrary. All right, next question.
I admire your optimism, but it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, as I said, it was a dream conversation. But anyway, we'll move on. You crush my dreams. Don't worry. I'm all right with that. All right. So the next question was, how many signings do we need?
We're going to go in the same order.
Yeah, go on.
You went first, didn't it, Jason?
Oh, I went first. I think we need 4 signings. I would like to see 4 new signings.
What's that for, Jason? Is that for like world domination, like League Cup, FA Cup, Champions League?
That's what you want,
I guess. Are we talking that kind of transfer, or we're talking about just like to win the Premier League and have a good chance of winning it in the Champions League?
I just think we need 4 signings because we've said it before. 1 to 11, we're as good as anybody. It's say 14 to 20. It's about the next sort of the backup players, getting better ones, so that when you replace a player, there's not a drop off too much, and also they're challenging, they're pushing the 1 to 11 as well. So I think about 4 would be good if we can get 4 decent players this summer, and we get rid of the players we've all spoken about getting rid of. I think we're in a really good place. That's my opinion. I think it's not like major surgery needed, but there's
what
definitely.
Positions are you talking about though?
That's the next question, right?
That was the next question. So for me, I think we need a striker. We need Origi's going to go, so we need just a striker, an out striker, like a Suarez type player. That kind of person who is not so much about, they're going to have to fit into the team ethos, but they're more about just banging goals in. That's all they do. That's their focus. And I think we need another kind of player to back up Mane and Salah, that wide dynamic forward as well. Because as we know, the Olympics this year, we're going to lose Salah for a little bit. And the African Cup of Nations is going to happen as well. We're going to lose Mane as well. So we need to be aware that we're going to lose some players, and we need some kind of, I think, quality replacing that. So I think a wide forward and a striker, a midfielder to replace Gini, and a defender. And I think we've signed the defender already.
Got a defender, haven't we?
Yeah. So we've got 1. So another 3 for me.
I think we need 4. We've signed 1. I think we need. I agree with the centre forward and the midfielder, and I think very quickly, I agree with those. I think the other one that we need is a right back to cover Trent. Not only to cover Trent, I think, as we've spoken about before and watched him the other night for England, he's so good at coming forward. He could be another option of playing as a right-sided midfielder or something. We have no cover at right back at that. Nico Williams, who Wales playing the other night? France, was it?
France, he got sent off.
Got sent off.
That was harsh, though, on him.
It was harsh, but listen, we've got to the stage now, I think, where the utility man that's James Milner cannot fill in everywhere. He's 35, whatever he is.
Gomez can play right back.
He can, but he can play right back. I know he can. He's played it before. I'd still like another right back just to challenge him and keep him on his toes and keep him a little bit focused, I think. And we signed Konate. I'd like a centre forward, someone that might get us. Well, listen, we've got Jota. Don't forget Jota as well. You spoke about Mane and Salah there. I think we need a centre forward. I really want to see a centre forward that's going to get you guys. But it's a tough, fine line because we had Danny Ings, who's proved to be a success at Southampton. But that even Danny Ings' level is not going to be a bit part player. So it's a fine line, really. But I would like a centre forward, definitely.
Yeah, I concur with everything that's been said. In terms of number of players, it's kind of a little bit of a nebulous. It's kind of a difficult one to quantify because if you, from my perspective, it's like going back to the first question. If money was no object, and if you could get everyone in one transfer window, which is not going to happen, I would say we need more than 4 players. I would say we need, and the reason I say we need more than 4 players, I would say we probably need 3 players that are going to challenge the first team, i.e. that can come in straight away. but I would say we need a handful of other players to supplement our squad that are better than what we have. So I don't think it's a question of 3 or 4 players. I actually think realistically, if money was no object and we could do everything in one transfer window, I think we need like 8, 9 players, because I don't think the fullbacks are anywhere near good enough cover. Albeit I haven't seen Costas play that much, but I've seen Nico Williams, and he's not good enough, frankly. I know Jaden's got a different view on that, but I don't think he's good enough. I think the midfield is very samey. I think we need a proper box to box player, someone that we thought Naby Keita was and isn't. We need to have a proper box to box player, and I think we need to get a couple of more guys, a striker, number one. But I worry about those. I worry about our fullback positions and our midfield positions. They're the ones I don't think we've got enough quality backup for. If we added one striker, I think if we have added one striker with Jota and the 3 others, I think we're fine. But I worry about the fullbacks and I worry about the midfield.
Who's next?
Okay, I'll give it a go.
Go on. How many players we need?
I think we need. They're not going to get loads. I think they'll get about 4. It's what type of players we're going to get is the question. I think we need definitely a striker, one that's going to challenge Firmino, one of quality, that is. I think we need, I would say, someone like a Coutinho type of player to come into the midfield, someone that can unlock things, not just a workhorse. And one player I really like, when you talked about supplementing Mane or Salah, I really like Neto at Wolves. I think that type of player, I think he reminds me a lot of Suarez in the way he works and his skills. So we need quality rather than numbers, I think.
Okay. Jaden, have you been? You want to go?
Yeah, I'd say I'm probably got the same thing, around 4. I think we need that Wijnaldum replacement, even though I think Jones is probably is good enough to kind of step in and around, because I think the Wijnaldum replacement, Wijnaldum was never going to feature as much for us anymore now that we had Thiago anyway. So I don't think they need to play as many games as Wijnaldum played. So I think Jones should be all right for that. But we already know about not replacing players sold. It came back to bite us with Lovren this season. So replace your players that are sold. End of. In the same kind of quality as well. So I want to see one centre mid, Wijnaldum replacement. Like everyone said, Origi has got to go and he's got to be replaced. I think we should stick to our policy in terms of we get players on the cusp, young players on the cusp of taking the next step. Someone like Paxton Daka, of that ilk where his name isn't huge yet, Jeremy Doku, someone like that, but they've got that talent where they can come in and show what they're made of. I actually think, you know already, I think Nico is actually good enough to provide cover for Trent. Just the fact that Trent is so good, he's going to play nearly every single game he's available for. And it, like Klopp especially, is all about squad harmony. You do want a player that can challenge, of course, but you don't want a player so good that they're going to be frustrated with sitting on the bench, because Nico is going to be benched 95% of the time. Like, he's hardly going to play because Trent is our star player.
But the thing is, Jaden, the thing about that one, and we've mentioned it on this before, is that if you have a situation where Trent has to be rested, right? If you have a situation where Trent is dropped as his form has come off, right, and you need to rest him, and you're going to play Nico Williams instead of him, then your goal supply or the way you play has to be different. So fair enough, you put Nico Williams in, but then you need to have some different kind of midfield combination that's going to create chances, because most of our chances in the last 2 seasons have come from fullback positions, and Nico Williams is not going to be a like for like replacement. So then you need goals coming, you need the creation coming from somewhere else.
Yeah,
and we don't have a plan B.
That's the thing with Nico. He is young, obviously. He starts for his international club. Wales is not the best ever, but they're Euro qualifying club, and he starts for them. So that's a big positive as well. He's 19, maybe 20 now, and he's got a delivery. He's got a good delivery on him. Like, that's one of his like traits that his key traits is that he can whip in a ball. I don't know if you remember last season.
Jaden, are you his agent?
Yeah.
Listen, I like him. I
actually think
he needs to improve.
Of course he does. Yeah. But I mean, he's in the right place to do it. He's learning from the right person to do it, and I think he's got enough about him to do it. I'm not going to say
if he was that good, and Trent was by his standards poor in a number of games last season. Why did Klopp not take him out of the team?
Because
Nico Williams in?
It's like, Trent poor. He's still you keep him on the pitch anyway, because he's just like you said, he's key to how we play, and he's just that good that he can be poor for 90, let's say 89 minutes. The ball that he's going to give you at the 90th minute that he's capable of, you can't risk having him off the field for that.
That's a different argument, Kush. That's Klopp's fault. I mean, that you can say what you just mentioned about Klopp. You could talk about the whole side.
And
that's what's cost us this season, because he's stubborn, and he doesn't change things around, or he doesn't believe in his 13 down to 18. But on the other hand, you've got someone like Guardiola, who thinks they're all the same, and he goes and plays a ridiculous side against Chelsea in the Champions League final.
We can't do that, though. We can't do. That's the thing that I think we've got to realise as well when we say players that we're going to buy. Like I said about the squad harmony, we can't do what Pep does. We don't have the bankroll. We have to have players that are objectively worse than our starting 11, but good enough to step in. I know what you're saying. The quality drop off can't be too much, because it's going to suffer, because players.
That's the next question.
Yeah, players can't play every single game. But let me finish off my point anyway. I think what's that? 3 players that I named. Genie replacement midfield. Origi to cover a striker off the bench capable of scoring. And actually, the third one we got the centre back, which we got already. The fourth one, which is probably out there, is another second keeper, man. I do not want to see Adrian ever put on a Liverpool top ever again, honestly. Kelleher's off on loan. It's already been announced he's gone because he needs to develop. But Adrian, honestly, he's just absolutely horrendous. He's cost us. Anytime he's played, he's cost us games by himself. That Atletico Madrid game, I'll never, ever forgive him for that. ever forgive him for that. And the comments that he came out with afterwards, like, oh, they were just better than us on the night. Their tactics beat us. It's like, no, they didn't. It was you. A backup keeper would be nice.
All right, go on, Karim. Did you say how many players? Yeah, no, you didn't go.
No, I haven't. But you know what? I think everyone's on the same ball round figure. You know, like 4 to 5. I'll say 5. Adding the goalkeeper as well. It depends on what kind of youth we've got coming through the system, whose path we're going to block. You know, and that kind of, and what the budget is. But if I had a choice and it was me that owned the club, I'd probably say bring in 4 players. Probably 2. Probably like a goalkeeper that's mature to step in for like Alisson, a striker, a proven striker, a midfielder. Probably we need another midfielder to cover Fabinho as well, and I'll probably say probably another winger as well, winger that could play up front as well, another one of those. So I think about 5.
Okay. So one of the other questions I said in the thing was realistic business. So who do you think will bring in that kind of stuff? Look, we've mentioned a lot of players already. I just want to read a list of players that I've seen linked with Liverpool. to date?
I want to go first this one, but I want to get Jude Bellingham.
Bellingham,
He's just gone first.
It's not.
You just gone first.
Yeah,
Passionate about this one.
everyone's gone first. Depending on the question, but I just feel like we just need him. He's a realistic target as well. I think we've got enough funds to get him. But and it looks like Jordan Henderson is showing him a bit of love. You're giving him the number 8 shirt for England.
Ooh, that will convince him to come to Liverpool.
Maybe.
Got me to stick him to Blackpool now.
All right. So look, these are the players I've seen linked with Liverpool.